One and all, someone has got to stop this man. Beastyqt. Undeniable. His series against B looking like his biggest challenge. In fact, it seems to be the only challenge. Being time and time again just seems to be that thorn in people's sides week after week. Anotand yet to be able to put up a real competition here. It's 2-0 down. Beasty just seems to have all the answers. So let's complicate things more, right? We were doing, what, primary level primary level math before? Let's do high school math. We're on to Holy Island, the best water map that Age of Empires 4 has from a competitive standpoint. And a very interesting spawn, actually. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is quite surprising, actually. The reason this can be important is Zhu Xi and Japanese have been very popular picks here for a long time now because of the stone generation they both have. Zhu Xi because of the meditation garden locations, Japanese because of gold gathering giving stone. You'd use that to get arrow slits, and because of the thin coastline around this area, it was very easy to bait your opponent in range. But with this divot point, it may actually complicate things, getting that dot crawl that makes it hard for your opponent to fight into you. Something that is going to be hard for Anotand is this is not the spawn he was after. No, he doesn't have a grand deal of goodies offered up to him here. He could probably go for double stone and wood. I'd say that's his best option here. Usually what you're looking for is like stone, gold, food. And you can get that quite frequently on the meditation garden placement because of how tight a lot of the resources spawn on Holy Island. For example, like over here, maybe he wouldn't be able to clip the gold, but we're used to seeing these smushes together where you even get like double food potential on top of each other. That's because of the tree lines. The tree lines typically shove everything towards the other resources, but every once in a while you get these 4 tree lines that grief you. Double berries gold, well, over here, it's not going to be wide enough. It's really not going to be wide enough. Like, the meditation garden will go from here to, like, maybe here. Maybe, like, here. So you still end up with about 1 berry batch worth. Probably the best option for him is the trees plus stone. Or he could probably come here for, yeah, food, stone, gold, and maybe, like, 10 wood. But that is really far away. That's the other thing to keep in mind. Like, that's quite a walk. I know does at least have it scoured. Let the clubbing begin! Cull them! Cull them all! Little Bo Peep has come to club her sheep. Okay, so -5. You know, if you're wondering why we're focusing on that, we've been noticing more and more recently, a lot of Holy Island games don't just get decided by the water. They converge into a land aggression. So every sheep club can make a difference. Tech up's coming in soon. Should be the Coca Township versus the Medigarden. And there you go. He just plays it safe and close to home. So he does get the double gold, gets the food. I think that's fine. That's 50 gold, 36 food. It's not crazy. We've seen meditation meditation gardens. What's up with my words today? Upwards of 130 on this map. Semi-frequently. Other side, Coca, just to be expected. You don't really need the Kuro when you're going to have fishing anyway. And the whole point is you now get land pressure, but also a way of sabotaging the docks and kind of ruining your opponent. Alright. Time to check the predictions. 62% for Beasty. It's kind of hard to argue against that considering the current score on the screen. This has not been a good day for Anotand. I'd say there's hope, though, right? It's way too early to call either way. Usually, the thing about the Coca Township play, it seems strong, but one thing that's really nice for Zhu Xi, that, say, Chinese wouldn't have, they'd suffer a bit more with, is the fact that you have immediate access to shoot new just by building an archery range. So getting the counter unit is quite easy. And then the follow-up is even better, because then you can build your own raiders in the form of the chicken new, which we already have on the way for Anotand. Love this. This is a smart read. Why is Anotand rushing these instead of waiting for the Coca play? Well, one is, it's coming. He knows there's going to be one Shinobi for free. So you need a counter anyway. But two, the bigger reason is the tree lines. He knows Beasty's going to be on the forward. Because the forward protects, the back doesn't. So if you go to the back one, we don't have wheelbarrow levels at this point, so idles you a lot. But also you'd have to wall, which idles you more. So he's exploiting the obvious detail on this map to now just try and force Beasty away from the good tree line at a critical point where they should be scaling into boats. Beasty has opened up with the archer ship, but now we have the spring ship coming out from Anotand. It should be quick enough that he'll be protected here. In fact, we even have him sending a Zhuge Nu north. I love this. Send some to raid and one to guard in case the ninjas come in. Unfortunately for him, it looks like Beasty did scout the play. We do have an outpost coming up. If he dives in now, this is big, but... Anno, is he distracted? Yeah, I think he's looking elsewhere here. That's really unfortunate. He could have got in and stopped this going up. Clubbing has returned the other way. Beasty takes away some sheep. And the shinobi stockpiling. So it looks like Beasty is targeting the Zhuge Nu instead. Or he's looking for that double disable. I think it's about the double disable here. So you can basically come in and perma-disable these two docks. And then float in and kill the fishing. This is crazy. He rotated all the way around to the gold. And he'll even get a kill. Yeah, Beasty had one too many on the gold there. That was ballsy, man. That could have easily not worked out at all for Anotand. I guess the thought process in his mind is that Beasty will not be looking at the back line. He'll be looking at the wood line. If so, a pretty crafty read. Unfortunately, like that probably shouldn't have happened. Beasty, he has the outpost up, so he would have seen that a mile off. But, you know, so many things that could be happening on the map, right? Especially when you're trying to mobilize your own shinobi. Beasty. His tree line is being dove into pretty fast by the villagers. There's an opening for shinobi to potentially dive in. The problem is if you go in, you're not coming out, right? Because although it seems dodgy to get your shivs out against shinobi, the Zhuge Nu will then just wipe the floor with the ninjas. These Zhuge Nu, though, they are going to get picked off. No aggro yet. Anotand will be the one to blink first. Not shinobi blink, I mean in the stare down here in water. Does Beasty win every KPMM game? No, because as you just saw on the bracket there, he almost lost to B yesterday. And also, Beasty has played in a total of, well, for this one, 5 KPMMs. He's only won 2. He went out in, I believe, the round of 16 in one of them, went out in the semifinals in another. In fact, one of the players who took him out in the semifinals was Anotand with, I believe it was a 3-0. Shinobi on the move. Oh my god. Zhu Xi villagers OP. How do they move this quick? No, these are the ninjas. Oh, that's going to be awkward timing as well. Beasty. I mean, that's a freebie if he wants it. Important as well, because you can just basically deny another dock while killing a villager. Looks like he's going to go a little bit too deep, though. Flash on water. Anotand does at least get the archer ship kill. Land is gradually becoming the focus for both players. You can see the Zhuge Nu boys are now on guard because so far he hasn't been able to kill any of the ninjas. And he knew last time at least that Beasty had 4. I know, so far Beasty has not lost a KPMM this year. He's only played in 2. We did have quite a few additions. So we had a nice little mixture. Before Beasty was winning, Anotand was actually the reigning champion here. We had... What else did we have? Was it B? I'm trying to remember now off the top of my head. We've had so many, they're starting to smush together a bit. So in terms of most recent champions, Beasty, then it was Anotand 3 times, then B 3 times before that. Then we had Louis winning our All-Stars event over Christmas. Before that, it was mainly the Canadians. Puppy Paul, I think, is reigning top winner with 7 wins overall, just not consecutive. Shivs out here. Put shivs out that are much sharper for Shinobi. Zhuge Nu reaction is good. Sabotage is nice, but there's no counter pressure coming in. Beasty isn't diving in behind this. No, instead, he's getting a little bit distracted. So gets some sabos. Gets himself a worker kill, but overall not enough out of this. It looks like Beasty is going for that big wipe, because if you look, you may notice a problem with Anotand's comp. It's a lot of Springle chips. This is the classic punch you in the face once and watch you cry. What do I mean by that? You build like 8 or 9 demos and then just watch everything boom. Actually, I guess it's more like Naruto million punches, right? Because it's not always the one demo. It's the fact that there's several more coming afterwards that makes you cry. Seeing those demos, he's going to try to move in now. Archer ship gets sniped out, though. Anotand! Okay, he does peel 1 or 2 off. So he sacrifices the arm to save the body. We don't have arrow slits. We do have demos coming out, so that's going to reset Beasty. That could have been a lot worse for Anotand. That immediate snipe could have spelled disaster, but a calm, cool reaction coming out from the Belarusian. You know, land. There's going to be a bit of poke back and forth. Shoot on the way, but the sabotage is in effect here. And the docks are getting very tight. You're seeing the dynamic change here with these deeper docks. It's crafty because what it offers up is a sneak point, potentially, if one player has it and the other doesn't. Because you can overextend and then get backstabbed from here. So you have to respect it. It's going to start moving in to poke at the dock now. Wake me up when water's out. Okay, this is what I mean about this being a good map, though. Like, I've said, even if you hate water, I think you can appreciate this map. And the reason is, although there's a lot of water play here, there's also a lot of land play. In fact, I think what I find very enjoyable about this map compared to any other water map is we have seen, in this week alone, multiple times someone lose water and win land. It's not as clean cut as like an archipelago. Nice cut there. Anotand gets a raid in. Forces idle time, also gets a worker kill. And he is going to be moving up off the back of this. Beasty, was he saving up for Castle Age? He's going to have to save up for a big demo pull now. We've got him waiting in the wings here. This is about to get a little bit awkward. This is going to be the Spider-Man pointing fingers moment. Oh no! The archer ships react quick enough. So Anno have to back up, but he is at least shrinking the dock line. Important there. It stops an immediate remass for Beasty, but also gets rid of that healing network. Hot ships, that is an overextension from Beasty. Remember, as they float away, they can easily shoot from the sides, so not really where you want to be. The demo pull now on the way in from Beasty. There's 2 archer ships in here. Anotand needs to be on point with the targeting. Demos are starting to clip. The body blocks are real here, though. The archers, they should be able to save the day. A bit of a weird reaction there. Anotand tries to turn around at the end, does lose 2 more Springolds. But Beasty, it's starting to turn to an L for him. He's behind on the Springold ship count. Now counter demos. More coming here. Beasty has at least got the double archer ship. Meanwhile, on land, it is going to be a raid in from the one Shinobi. Shivs are already out to protect the taxman. We have to protect that person who takes all of our hard-earned pennies. And on the other side of the map, the Zhug were trying to dive in for additional kills. Not going to be able to find enough here. I know. Look at what he's done off the back of this. He wins the trade out on water. He hasn't killed Beasty there, but he's found the resources to go age free. Beasty is trying to mask his own intent and mirror the play, but it is going to be notably slower here. 21 villages from Anotand just to get that succinct timing into the Shaolin monks. And not just that, the succinct timing into this. Armored hulls now on the way. Beasty is in dangerous territory now. Armored hulls plus Springald crews. And you can get a big edge, because remember, usually do research those faster, courtesy of the slightly quicker producing docks. When you consider that Beasty barely has any water control, he's at risk of being pushed off entirely. And I don't think it's fair to say M-Lord isn't part of the community because he only plays S-tier tournaments as an S-tier player. He comes by here occasionally watching games. Some players just aren't... I said this before, some players aren't streamers. I think like you're missing a trick if you're not willing to do the content creation, but like not everyone's built for that. No one wants to do it. And Marine Lord is good enough at the game and established enough that he doesn't need to do it. Many people do. In smaller scenes, you often can't just be a pro player, but there are very rare exceptions even in small scenes. Marine Lord is one of them. But enough about him. We got Beasty and Anno here. And Anno finally looks like the dragon that's woken up from slumber. Lancers being queued up already. Pressure play coming in. Beasty's forfeiting water. He hasn't even built a single demo. Makes sense as well. The war junks with the extra health are just unkillable at this stage. The best thing Beasty can do is just try to maybe drag it out a little bit longer so that Anotand wastes more resources here. He's queued up additional demos that just aren't even needed anymore. One Arch ship is going to go around the back and try to waste some extra time. Nano, he is going to back up for the moment due to the double arrow slits on the docks. But now the Lancers are starting to arrive on the gold line. Beasty, this is where the game gets uncomfortable. Japan at this stage starts to use a lot of gold. Onimusha and the Mount Samurai, both not cheap in that department. Good news for him, he has got 2 golds on this west side. He could easily try to wall this in and secure 8k gold. Unfortunately, might not be so easy to do with the Lancer spam that's coming. I love the switch. Anotand now going into Horseman Crossbowman in reaction to the full cavalry comp of the Japanese. Oh, and another thing, like on Marine Law's content side, even though he may not be live as often on his own channel, you guys forget that he broke his ankle literally doing content with the Gentlemates team. So, really unfair to say he doesn't do anything. Shinobi again. Hello. Okay. Good snipe there as well. Against China, it's not worth killing taxmen. Against Zhu Xi, it most definitely is. Beasty, able to start yoinking relics as well. Yeah, something that's kind of surprising here is that Anotand didn't rush his Shaolin Monk immediately. He prioritized the Lancers, so he wasn't going for greed, he was trying to go for kill. Looks like counterplay is going to work out nicely here for Beasty, at least at the beginning. Remember, the numbers are very deceptive here. There is a lot of water population. In fact, Anotand, he only has 12 land units right now. Yeah, Beasty has the edge. Don't impressed with it. Ultimate count, not really significant yet. Mount Samurai can still contest that. And remember, he hasn't fully shoved Beasty off of water, so there is still a little bit of economy extra coming in there for Beasty. That's not the Daimyo level starting to tickle in. You know, we don't have a Euroshiro drop in the TC, but it wouldn't surprise me to kind of inflate him on land for the transition here. Outside the map. It's a switch. Whoa, okay, so Beasty's budgeting it. Get rid of the Mount Samurai element, replace it with Horseman. You can get 2 for the price of 1. It makes sense, right? Like, Anotand has gone Horseman, Crossbow. So your Horseman counter everything. Why? Because of the Uma Bannerman. You can get an Uma Bannerman to buff his damage higher than the Zhu Xi's. There is a way that you can rebalance it as Zhu Xi, and that's Dali Horses. But that's not a play you immediately just think of in the moment, like, you know, when you first see Uma. When you first see Horseman. It's usually something that kind of organically happens once you've scaled enough. And even then, it rebalances the fight, right? Because you get a 20% attack speed buff, but he gets 15% attack damage increase, while also having an extra melee level. Hello, big raid from Beasty. A few worker kills, even gets another taxman, and Kabutoya, love this, allows him a quick disengage from the Horseman. This is getting uncomfortable. Anotand, I'm a little bit surprised he's still keeping his villagers here, but I guess the argument is if he moves them to the back, you're going to have your production line back here. Sure, you can have your defenses condensed, but then you can't guard gold, and also it puts you further away from a counterattack. I know. I think we're finally seeing him clean up the docks now. At this point, he's like, okay, I guess he's not going to demo me. Let's just get rid of these. It's interesting, actually, because the thing that makes it easy to clear docks, he never got. Springle Cruise. Springle Cruise is the one that gives you more range. It gives you attack speed. That's the easiest way to kind of get these docks cleared up when you get castle. Okay, so we have got the Spearman coming in. I mean, in fairness, Spearman counters everything Beasty is doing now. What scares me is if he can maybe afford only Begatia. I doubt it because he doesn't have Kura and only has 6 sheep. But if he finds a way into Begatia, Anotand is screwed with this current comp. Flash coming in. That Uma Venom buff. Where are the troops? He's tricking the Spearman out now, but they're already hardened. Uh-oh. Beasty, he gets onto the back line here. Crossbow's Juice having to retreat. Has to bail on the front line of Horsemen, but the Onimusha are now following this up as well. We're about to reach the economy again. Does he just move south side now? Beasty, his cavalry has been mostly cleared up. They're going to split up now and go wide. Interesting. So Beasty, he just sticks to the A-click. Okay, so no economy kills out of this. That might change now on the north side. Great micro there by Anotand. On garrison, re-garrison. So minimizes the losses. Looks like things are starting to stabilize a little for Anotand. Bottom docks are getting swept up. Remember, over time, Anno has been losing some of these boats, so the numbers aren't as disingenuous anymore as they once were. They are still pretty deceptive, though. 2/3 of Anno's military pop not able to play on land. And my worry here is because Beasty played Cavalry, what he done really well here is the Cavalry idea is, hey, you've gone for a static comp, you need more. So he's hit this timing before he's able to get enough mass to be everywhere at once. And these, they're not meant to be anti-armor units. These are literally horse archers. It's like he's playing Rus. And the Rus is hitting hard, man. Look at the economy now. It's neck and neck, despite the fact that Anotand has got 21 fishing boats and 3 trade ships. Yeah, he's pretty much just throwing away all of his land economy to exist on water. You know, at this point, Anotand is the lizard people that came from the seas in the, was it the Bronze Age? Yeah, the Bronze Age. Oh my god, this is painful to watch, man. At what point do you look back at this game and go, man, I should have got textiles? So many worker kills. So the land economy is now 34 to 68. And it's a free TC point for Beasty. Oh my god. So once again, reminder, Anotand won water, and yet look at the state of Holy Island. This is why I like this map. This is why if I have to choose a water map to go into KPMM, this is the go-to one, man. Oh, what a cool game. And now the outposts. Beasty doesn't want to do the farms yet. So he's just gathering food from the front side now. He's literally just taking from Anotand's base. Oh my god. I mean, I guess you can afford to throw away a few villages. I'm just not sure if it's entirely worth it. Spear replacements are on the way. Anotand, he's getting worker kills, but he just has no army. No, the spear placement is going to come in, so that's going to secure for the remaining villagers to build up these outposts. He's going to go for sacred sites, isn't he? I mean, wait, well, he can't. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'd be impressed if he can. But I guess the thought process is now Anotand can't. Crazy thing still is the fact that Anotand won water, he got castle first, and yet he has 1 relic, whereas Beasty has 4. Just let that sink in for a moment. What Beasty done here is not easy, folks. I think for Anotand, one of the tricky things is he kind of got baited into over-investing on the water at the start of the castle play, right? Like, armored hulls first, and then Springle Crews. I feel like often the Springle Crews can feel a little bit safer, because it gives you that way of sniping out the docks like we talked about, and it doesn't, like, over-commit you in a way that you take too long to clear the way. I think what happened here is Anotand kept getting distracted looking over here on the water, paranoid that demo ships were coming out. So you couldn't really fully focus the same way that Beasty could when it came to the land. And yes, Anotand is now up to 9 trade ships. Hey man, they give a lot of wood and gold. And in fairness, if he gets Nest of Bees, actually, it could solve the problem. The issue is he just doesn't have control of the width of the map. Like, once again, these are horse archers. They are meant to just raid. They're not about fighting armored units. How many water trade ships will equalize Beasty's 4 relics? A relic's worth 80 resources a minute. A trade is worth, like, what? Probably about, I'll say 80 a minute? The problem here is he's behind. And he's going to get further behind. Because Beasty's free TC. And also, Anotand never set up a dock over here. He's got 21 fishing boats, and you're seeing the impact of it. He's gathering through the food a little bit too quick, so he's getting idle time moving to new locations. Meanwhile, Beasty, all he needs to do now is get into the farms. Wait, are we not getting into the What? Dude, he's just going to exploit the limited resources. This is sick. Anno won't come out. So instead of going for a farm transition that gives him an in, Beasty says, screw it. I've got berries here, deer, boar, you name it. You've given me the entirety of the map. This is sick. It's smart as well, right? Like, it's a bit dangerous from the perspective that if Beasty whiffs with this attack, the Beastyqt cost is so high you can't replace. But I love the balls on it, man. Because Anotand does have water. You don't want to put yourself in this concerning position where he potentially recovers because of that economy. So while he's got an advantage, he looks to push it. So Trip Trap able to start sieging through the front of the base. I've got counter trap play to clear the outposts. The Mango follow-up now coming through. Contest for the crossbows and the potential nest of bees. This is crazy. What a game. Geisha. This is getting a little bit scary. Anotand, he did just get early eyeballs, so he will get the conversion point. He's going into the Chuganu. Here's the counter. As long as you have a little bit of a front line. This may be premature on the fight for Anno, though. Starts going for the clash, and we've got the Shinto's healing. Okay. Against spears as well, remember. Spears and crossbows that just aren't doing that much damage. Maybe, though. Just maybe the Chuganu can make up for it. Geisha line is spinning a little bit, but now the front line dead. It means that Anotand is in trouble here. The nest of bees can't even fire anymore. And there's no retreating from these psychos with their glaives. No, Naginata's a little bit too fast to swing here. And these are lean legs. No extra weight weighing them down. 1.5 movement speed. Able to keep diving in. Anotand reduced down to just a handful of Chuganu. Mango's going to fix that as well, though. Beasty still has more of the Beastyqt on the way. At this point, these ladies should have streamlines coming off of them from how quickly they're running. Now the Mangoes. What? Wait, what? The villager pull? Into Beastyqt. Uh-oh. Mango's going to pull away. This is smart because if you now just use the ladies, you can easily cleave these down. There's still no textiles here. Anotand. He knows he needs these gone, though. The Mango's just trying to fight. The siege will get sniped out, but Anotand is now 107 villagers to 13! Make it 8! He has got starting villager count. 5 villagers in this game for Zhu Xi. Oh my god. That is 21 fishing, 15 trade ships, 6 villagers, and 1 imperial official. And now he gets textiles. You can't make this up. He's lost 80 villagers and now goes textiles. Oh my god. At what point was Anna just sitting here staring at Shin going, maybe I should give them textiles. It's smart, actually. When there was like 80 villagers, that's a lot of clothes to buy for people. Now there's only a handful. You look like the good guy, and you didn't have to like dole out on, 70 different merino wool sweaters. So you're seeing the fatigue now for Beasty, right? We talked about the risk of this Beastyqt play. We've hit the risk. The berries now got blocked out before he could gather them. He already tapped these ones. He's now into the boar. His deer's gone. He still doesn't have a farm transition. That's now underway. There is a window here for Anotand, but he needs to dive through that window like an action star in a 90s Hollywood movie. Because if he doesn't, Beasty is just going to rematch before he can react. Charlie, the less you have, the more important they are. It makes perfect sense. True. Now losing 1 villager statistically heavily impacts the amount of villagers Anotand has. If he loses a villager now, it's 10% of his villager economy. Gotta protect him. And we still have more mangoes coming in now from Beasty. Remember, although food is a temporary issue, the wood, the gold, that's still good to go. He does have some gold risk down the line, so he needs to make sure he's able to approach here. Meanwhile, wait, am I actually seeing that correctly? With 11 villagers. I felt like at this point, Anotand was just going to say, screw it, I don't have a land economy. But I guess we're going to be seeing TCs from Anno to try and get back onto the land. Oh, God. All right, ones if you think Anno's going to win this. Twos if you think Beasty's taking it. I think Anno's just going to be a bit too slow here. None of it is his own fault. It's just the state of the game right now. Like, Beasty has the farm transition, man. He's how many farms deep? 24. 24 with level 2 Daimyo, so significant amount of food income. He does, however, get caught out here. Hello. Nice little strike out onto the deal location. And we have, yes, we've got the docks up. Okay, so Anotand has actually refined his economy. He can go up to 40 fishing boats now. Hold on. So we might have a way in which he can compete here. It's a lot of siege, though. And you'd think Springles are kind of a meme into Chuganu, but we've seen actually because, like, Zhu, because in general, range units have, I'd say, about 60% of their health on average compared to melee units. That basically means that Springles kill range units about as quickly as they kill melee units. If that makes sense. Because remember, the Springles get significant damage booster from melee tags. This is a lot of mangoes also. I know it doesn't have a clean solution just yet. We have got PG now coming through. He can't go Horseman because BC has spears, so this is the correct call. Palace Guards are quite swift. But Beasty already seems to have read it. Samurai coming in. And that means Anotand, like, he needs crossbows. Crossbows he just doesn't have here. No, and it's not just any Samurai. I believe this is going to be full Udachi tech, yeah. So they melt anything that has 2 legs. It's bad for Anotand because he's on his last legs here. Mango's pushing in. Springles to follow up. Deep penetration coming through. He even goes after the enemy Springles. Oh my god! So these units counter melee, right? Right? No, they counter everything that is on 2 feet. That's it. It's going to be Beasty once again into the grand finals. Oh my god, it's deja vu. The question is, who will be able to stop him? What do you think, guys? Wham, Vortex, are you fancying him this week? Or is it once again just going to be a Beasty brawl out and domination? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you all in the next chapter.